Now let me see in this class the three keywords which is left for the exception handling. That is, already we have seen the try, catch keywords. Now we'll look of the throw, throws, finally keywords with beautiful examples with in detail about that one. And please keep it in that mind. We have completed the try and catch. Let me talk about the first one, throw. Throw is going to be checked for, it throws the checked and unchecked. What are the checked exceptions? We have class not found exception, interrupted exception, IO exception, instantiation exception, the SQL exception, file not found exception. Unchecked, arithmetic class cast exception, null pointer, array index out of bound, array store exception, illegal thread exception, all such type of comes under unchecked. So to throw an exception, we can use the throw keyword. Now throw keyword is mainly going to throw the custom exception. Mainly for custom exceptions, we are going to be use this throw. The syntax for throw is throw exception. So already we have seen the syntax also. Let me see one example. The throwing of the purpose. What is it actually where we can use it? Now I'm creating a class called as test throw one. There is a class name. I'm calling a method called as valid. Now when the main function calls here, and when it is calls the valid of 13, the program aim is it is going to be checked whether 18 years has completed for welcoming for the vote to apply for the voting for ID card, that is voter card. If it is not 18, we have to raise an error, that is not valid. So when it is called valid of 13 here, it goes to this method. Now in this age, the parameter is 13, 13 less than 18. So 13 less than 18 is a condition is true. Now it throws an exception object. So how to create an object actually? The new and the constructor. Arithmetic exception is what? Is a class. When you using for a method, a class name, what it called as? It called as constructor. Now this is arithmetic exception is a one parameter constructor. What is the parameter we are passing for this? Not valid. So if you see this entire line, we are throwing this part, enter new arithmetic exception of not valid is nothing but we are creating an arithmetic exception object that we are going to be throwing. That is only right hand side we are talking about that. We are creating an arithmetic exception object and we are throwing. How you are throwing? With the help of throw keyword. Okay, so throw new arithmetic exception of one parameter is nothing but we are throwing an arithmetic exception object. Clear? If it is not, then we can display message welcome to vote. When it is throws that message, automatically it will be accessed by automatically it can access take care by arithmetic exception the class, and it will be display arithmetic exception value is there and not valid message will be display and rest of the code. So what is the output of this program? The not valid and rest of the code, it will display that one. And remember one point here, we are going to be applying for the check exceptions only. Let me see the execution of this one, execution of this program. Test exception. So test throw one. This is the example. Okay, same example over here. Now I'm going to the command prompt. Java C. What is the name of the program? Test throw one. .java. If no errors, run the program. See, the main in the thread exception, arithmetic exception, not valid. And it is clearly showing that where actually you are called this, at which lines the exceptions is raising. It throws that one because of which method, because of which lines this exception has raised means because of the line number 5 and because of the line number 11, it is throwing that exception. What is the line number 5? In this notepad, in the bottom, we can see the line number, line 11 like this. So line 5 is what? This is the line 5. This is the line 5, and this is line 11. This is line 11. Okay, so because of that, it is going to be raising this exception over there. So what is the purpose of try? It will be store the logic of the code. It will be, we can write the logic of the code in the try block. What is the purpose of catch? Whatever the exception throws by the try block, it will be cached by the catch block. Now here, without try, without catch, we can throw the checked exceptions. So here is a arithmetic exception is a checked exception. We can throw this checked exception without the try and catch block. So custom defined in the sense, this is a custom define only. Custom exception, we can raise it. So that is advantage of throw. And let me see one more thing here. Please remember, can we rethrow an exception? Yes, we can rethrow an exception. Rethrow an exception means what? We can rethrow the same exception, whatever we are having. Say for example, in this example, it is going to be talking about, see in this example, we are going to creating a class called as throw demo and a method demo procedure. Now here we are throwing a null pointer exception. So null pointer exception we are throwing here. So null pointer exception here under this one, we are going to throwing here null pointer exception. Now it will be cached by this null pointer exception catch block and it display so and so. And we can throw here again. So rethrow the exception is nothing but when you want to rethrow that same exception, we can use that throw the object reference, that is E is the object reference of null pointer exception, that we can be throw with the help of this throw E over here. So with this line, we can say we can rethrow the same exception in catch block. Remember that point, in catch block we can rethrow it. Now we can have a doubt that what is the need of rethrowing? What is the purpose of that throwing that error is nothing but when it is caught that one, say for example here, I am calling demo procedure here, the method. When it throws this one, it will be goes to the respective, the catch block, the try block for this catch is this one, caught inside demo procedure, this is executed. And again, if you are rethrowing, again it will be recaughted. So multiple times it is catching the same error. When you want same error is going to be catching every time, then we can use this type of rethrowing the same exception so that we can avoid, we can make sure that same error is coming multiple times in multiple lines or multiple places it is coming. To check whether the same error is coming or not, we can use throw E. Now let me have run this program, throw demo. So we'll run this program, throw demo here. Here is the program. Okay, just same the try block. Previous example, without the try block, we have used throw, right? Now we are going to using throw, try block and catch block. Why? We'll see in the upcoming slides why we had to be used for that one. To throw the unchecked exception. What is the null pointer exception? What type of exception it is? Null pointer means it is a unchecked exception. See where it came? It came at this here in this position. Unchecked exceptions or null pointer exception is unchecked exception. We can throw only checked exception. We can't throw the unchecked exception. To throw the unchecked exception, we had to use maybe try catch. We can use the try catch or we can use the throws. Okay, so we had to use the try catch mandatory when you are throwing an unchecked exception. That's why in this code, in the demo, we are throwing an unchecked exception. That's why we are going to using try and catch block. So in the try in the catch block, we are rethrowing the same exception. Now let me run this program. Throw demo, Java C space, throw demo dot Java. No errors. Java C space, throw demo. See, caught inside demo procedure. This is null pointer. This is the user defined parameter we have passed, demo. Recaught. Again, it is a recording. Again, it is caughting the same error at so and so line. Okay, so that's how we can also rethrow it. So it's a very important interview question. Shall we rethrow the same exception? Yes, we can rethrow the same exception. Coming to the throws keyword. Remember, throw is going to be using throw the custom exceptions, and throws is going to be using for declare an exception. We are going to using for declare an exception. Remember the point, declare. Declare means what? It ends with semicolon. We can use for declare an exception. It gives an information to the programmer that there may be occur an exception. So it is better for the programmer to provide the exception handling code so that the normal flow can be maintained properly. Okay. So exception is going to mainly used to handle checked exception. Remember, it's going to be handling for checked exception. If they occur, if there occurs any unchecked exception, such as null pointer exception, it is the programmer fault that he is not performing checkup before the code being used. That's what we are going to be. It throws the checked exception. If any unchecked exception has raised, it is a fault of the programmer. Before running the program, is not used the checked exception. It's not checked properly before the code is going to be used. Okay. So throws keyword is going to be using for declare an exception. Let me see the in detail about that one. The syntax already we have seen. For methods only, already I have said you, throw can be for a single statement we can use. Throws for a method, we can use it. Now the syntax is normally for method, return type, method name is already know everyone. So that is open braces and close braces. Now at the followed by the method name, we have to throws the exception class. Maybe the arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, whatever it may be, we can throw over here. Which exception should be declared? Checked exceptions only declare. Declare means what? Throw. We can throw or throws only checked exception. If you want to be throws unchecked exception, we can declare the exception or we can use the try catch block over here. Let me see in detail about that information over here. Before going to using this one, let me have a demo without using throws. If you're not using throws, what will happen? So here I am going to be creating a class called as without throws, the name of the class. I'm creating a method called as throw1. Now I'm just displaying a message inside throw1. Now throw new illegal access exception. Remember, this illegal access exception, new throw illegal access exception, is a unchecked exception. If you want, you can check here. Illegal thread access here, right? So this exception, illegal access exception, it is available here, unchecked, right? Illegal access exception will be the unchecked exception. So to throw that, to throw this one, it will definitely raise an error. See the output of the program. We'll run this program. So without throws. See, this is the code. Without throws, throw1. We are throwing what? We are throwing an unchecked exception, illegal of this one. Okay. Now let me run the program. This is a class file, Java program. Now clear the screen. Java C space without throws.java. See what happened? Unreported exception, illegal exception must be thrown. It must be thrown. It not be throw. That is throw new illegal exception, because throw can be throws only the checked exception. We can declare. Who will be declared? The exception can be only checked exception can be declared. Say for example, to avoid your confusion, I'm just using here arithmetic exception. In the previous example also we have seen it, right? So we have seen in the test throw demo, not in the throw demo, we have seen in the first example, right? Test throws here, arithmetic exception we have seen here. Now let me just change to illegal access exception. I change to arithmetic, where arithmetic is a checked exception. I'm save the program, just I'm running. Arithmetic exception, throw new arithmetic exception, can't find the symbol. Can't find the symbol in the sense like okay, and here okay, fine. So arithmetic exception, THMETI. Okay, so new arithmetic exception demo and one class error, can't find the symbol. Arithmetic exception. Okay, throw new arithmetic exception. Okay, fine. Okay, done. And here you can use the same, but not a question. The thing is same. Shit. Here we have. Shall we run? Yes. So without throws, see here, without throws, now it is running. So previously we have using illegal access, exception. When I'm using this one, when I'm compile the program, it is raising the error. Somebody has to throw it. But when I'm going to using arithmetic, instead of the unchecked exception, if you are using the checked exception, it is running the program. See? Okay. We'll run the program. It gives error. So there is an error demo over here at line number 5 and line number 8. So this is a line number 8 and this is a line number 5. So that's why we had to use only the checked exceptions when you are throwing that. So when you want to be using illegal access exception. So illegal I is a capital here. I is a capital. Okay. So to avoid that, we are going to using without throws. We had to use throws. Now let me see how to use that throws keyword. There is a one rule here before going to start the throws. If you are calling a method that declares an exception, is nothing but what? Throws. When you are using a throws for a method, you must be either caught or declare. Caught means what? Using try, catch. Declare means what? At the place of the method, we are going to be declaring that one. Let me see these two cases. Case one is what? You caught the exception, that is handled using try and catch. This is the first case. Let me see first case and later we'll see the second case. So let me see one example for handling through the, when you are handling the runtime errors, means the unchecked exceptions, with the help of throws, we had to be used try or catch. So here I'm creating a class called as M. I'm creating a method. Method name is the method itself, throws IO exception, right? Now, once it is throws the IO exception, somebody, this is a declaration. This is what we are declaring. Now we are throwing inside that, we are throwing a new IO exception. That is how to throw a normal exception with the help of throw keyword. Just we are throw this one. And now I'm creating one more class called as test throws one, and I'm calling the main method. In the try, I'm creating the object and I'm calling the method m dot method here. And now I'm using a catch exception for this try, and here we are going to displaying message exception handled and normal flow, normal statement. Now when I call this method, it will goes to here. When I call the run the program, it goes to here, and when it throws, it will be throw an IO exception. If it is an any IO exception is there, it will directly throw that exception, and somebody has to catch. Who will catch? He will be catching. So he will catch that particular exception, because this is an IO exception that will be catched by this catch block. Now another output is normal flow. So the output is exception handled. The second output is normal flow. This is with the help of, when you throws, what type of the error it is actually IO exception. If you have seen in this one, we are going to be using checked exception. When you throws a block of, when you throws that exception, we are going to be using with the help of the try and catch. So let me run this program, the test one. Here is the program, test throws one dot java test throws. See m, and it is throws because it is a declaration, and it is throwing the IO exception. Now it will be cached by this exception. Now let me run the program. This is IO exception 1, right? We want this is, we'll go for this. Cool. This is test 1, test throws 1. Here is the code, but here we need to use 1. Okay, fine. Okay, because the name of the class file and the name of that means both are need to same. Java C space dot Java. Now program has done Java space. This is exception handling and normal flow. Now that is the first case how we can be handle the throws. So with the help of try catch, we are going to be using this. When throws the exception, we had to be use try and catch. Okay. Let me see the second case. What is the second case? When you declare an exception, when you are going to be declare an exception, when you throws it, we can be declare that exception. In case the declare the exception, if exception does not occur, the code will be executed normally. If there is an exception occurs, it will be thrown at runtime because throws does not handle the exception. Why we are going to using here throws? It will just it is a declaration only. We are just declaring. We are saying that one. We are just declaring that we are throwing something. We are just declaring. Like the abstract class, the interface method, they are only just declare it. They don't have any body over there. In the same fashion, throws will be declare an exception, but it doesn't handle that exception. To handle that exception, here the point it's saying, this exception will never thrown at the runtime because the throws does not handle the exception. That's why we need to be use throw followed by try catch, or we can use throw followed by declare the exception. How to declare that exception is, let me see this example. For the second case, same M class and method, it is throwing, but here I didn't use throws. Here I didn't use throw. Throw, try, catch is one combination. Whenever any exception has throws, whenever any throws exception declare, we can use the first case is what? We can throw, we can throw and the respective catch and try and catch should be there when you are throws an exception. The second case is when you are throws an exception, we are going to declare that exception. How to declare that exception normally? This is the line. This line is called as declaring the exception at the method name. Now to catch that one, to handle that one, we are going to be declare that exception. Declare that exception is what? Throws the class name, exception class name here. This is called as how we can be declared. In this example, if you observe, there is no throw, there is no try catch. So there is another way to handle that one. So let me run this program. This is a test 2, right? So test throws 2. This is a Java program. The same. This is a method throws IO exception and calling the method. But in this one, just we are throwing. And where we are declaring? At the main. At the main program, we are declaring that IO function, IO exception over here. Now let me run the program so that you can understood. 2.java. Okay, now run the program. See, device operator perform normal flow. Device operation perform normal flow. So in these two cases, and don't be confused in this one, in these two cases, we can use like when you are throw something, we can use throw followed by, when it is throws, somebody is required, right, to try and catch. Somebody has to be catch that one. The other way is when you are declaring an exception, if exception does not occur, automatically it will be run. If exception occurs, it has to be thrown. But when it is thrown at runtime, so throws doesn't handle that one. To avoid that one, we are going to using where actually the program execution starts at the main. So we are going to declaring that exception, and we are seeing that output as device operation perform and normal flow. This is one example over here. Now we have two cases, right? We have discussed about the two cases in this one. We have discussed the two cases. What are the two cases? If the program does not, exception does not occur, execute it. If exception occurs, it has throw runtime error. Now I will show you the extension of the example here. This example talks about when exception occurs. This example talks about, this is example, we are talking about exception does not occur. Here, no exception. That's why we are going to be running the program directly. That is the first case. In the first case, sub case. This is a sub case. This is a program. What is the next second sub case? In the case 2, exception occurs. When it occurs, that exception, what will happen? When it occurs the exception, definitely when it is throws it, we had to be declare as well as we had to be throw. We had to throw that one. But remember, when it throws it, anybody is there to catch that one? Let me see by running the program. So here, test throw 3. That is the example. Now, clear the screen. Java C, test throws 3.java. Java test throws 3. See, device error at line number 5 and 12. So what it is throwing? It is throwing that it is a device error is there. But anybody is handled for that. It is going to be without that try catch. We can simply just use throw, and as well as instead of the try catch, we had to be declare the exception. Instead of try catch, we had to be declared that exception over here. So that is one difference for this one. So previous example, here in this example, somebody has to throwing and somebody has to catch and that exception when you throws exception. But when you declare that exception, that is when you throws it, when there is no errors, directly without any try, throw, catch, we can use it. When there is an exception is there, with the help of throw, you can handle it. How means we can declare this exception at the main method. Here also we can declare the exception at main method. So the output as showing that device error, and the output, what is the output here is here the exception device error, but there is no, when it is exception rise, it is not coming to the normal method here. When it's not coming to the normal flow, it's only runtime error, it occurs. Okay, so that's one difference over here. And coming to the finally block, the third keyword, the second keyword is very clear, like so in the throws can be used to declare an exception. Throw is going to be using for throws and custom exception. In the throws, when you are declare an exception, here two cases has to remember. When you declare an exception, it may be, must be either caught or it may be declare the exception. Caught is nothing but we are going to using try and catch. When you are declaring the exception, if there is no exceptions in the program, directly without using any throw, try, catch, you can just by declare the exception, you can run it. Don't be confused. Declare the exception means throws the exception means this is the line. Declare the exception means this is the line at the main method. Okay. So when exceptions are there, you have to be just throw it and declare the exception. No need to be used try catch in that one. So these are the scenarios for the throws. And coming to the finally block. So finally keyword. So finally keyword already we have discussed in the last class, but with an examples we discuss now. Java finally block is a block which is executed important code such as closing connection stream. Maybe exception occur or may not be occur. This final block will be executed. So final block follows the try followed by catch followed by finally or try finally. Any one of combination we can use. Try, catch, finally or try finally. Any one of the combination we can use it. So just for clean up code such as closing the connection, closing a file, we can use the final keyword. Now let me see some programs over here. I have 3 different programs where we can use this. Now let me discuss that here. So this is one is yes test finally. This is the we are talking about. Let's see. This is case 2. This is case 1 now. Okay, fine. See the case 1. Let's see an example here where Java finally example where exception does not occur. Exception is not occur. Even though it is exception occur, may not be occur. We are going to be run. We can use this finally. So what this program talk about? We have used a class and we are calling a main method. And then the try block 25 by 10. There is no exception. It returns 5. It just displayed it and is a catch. So after any exception is there, it will be catched the respective exception. If program is normal, there is no exception, it will be executed the finally. Final block is always executed. So what is the output? that is 25 by 5 is it's get 5, and finally block is always executed rest of the code. So this is the output of the program. Now save the program. What is the purpose we are going to using here? The final without error, without any exception, whether it runs or not. So it is running. So finally keyword can be used, maybe exception raise or may not be exception raise, we can use it. Just compile test finally block1.java. If no errors, run the program. So what is the output? 5. Final block is always executed, rest of the code. Now I'll show you the second case. We'll go for the second case, case 2. Let's see the Java final example where exception occurs. And when exception occurs and not handle, remember the word not handle. We are not handling any exception, but exception has occurs. Okay. So that is the second scenario. So we are just using text finally block 1. And here exception raised 25 by 0. It is a arithmetic exception. It is raised. But anybody is catching here? No, because it's a null pointer exception. It is an unchecked exception. It is a runtime exception. That is null pointer exception. There is no arithmetic exception. So it is not handling. It is raising the exception, but not handling that exception. Even it is not handling, even it is raised the exception, final block can be executed and rest of the code. What is the output? Here, final block is always executed, rest of the code. Now let's save the program. .java, and coming to the command prompt, java c space .java. If no errors, run the program. See, final block is always executed. Exception in thread main normally divided by 0. Normally when you have seen, right, when you have seen that exception, it's not handling. Because of that, the last line, which is rest of the code, is not executing. When you are handling only, except that particular line which the exception has raised, the rest of the code will be executed. But here there is no output called as rest of the code. This is not coming over here, because we are not handling the exception. Exception is raised here, exception is there, but we are not handling. So final block, if exception raised or not raised, if exception handle or not handle, finally block can be executed. That is the main motive why we are going to execute in this example. Coming to the third scenario, we'll see the third scenario. Let's see the Java finally example where exception occurs and handle. Both the cases, exception occur as well as handle. So text finally block 2. How we are handling? 25 by 0, and we are going to using catch arithmetic exception. That's all. The rest of the code is same. What is the output? Here arithmetic exception and final block is always executed and rest of the code. Like this, we are get the output. Now save the program. .java. Save. Okay. Now coming to this one, command prompt, java c space .java. If no errors, run the program. See, arithmetic exception divided by 0, final block is always executed, rest of the code. So in the previous, rest of the code is not there, and also not we are handling. So that's why this finally block may or may not be, exception is there or not, exception handling or not, this finally block can be executed. So that's about this total 5 keywords. So in this class we have talked about throws finally with detailed examples. So that's about the 5 different keywords of exception handling, try, catch, throws, and finally.